All right, hello, Hempire, training number 7. Hello, hello. Glad to see a couple of you popping on. Awesome, we'll wait just a minute, see if we get any other people on. I know to get on live is tricky. A lot of moms and dads, busy time here in the evening. I totally get it. I might get distracted and have to go take care of kids, but we will do our best. Okay, and so we were going to start tonight with a Q&A. So at any time, if you have a question, you can type it in the chat. So down on the bottom, if you hover over, there's a little chat symbol. You can type it in, or you can holler and
it's over here.
What's that? Oh, and so if you have a question, you can absolutely speak it out, or you can type into the chat box. So if you're not speaking, please mute out, or else I can help by muting. But if you do have a question, we would love for you to come on and ask it. So please do not be shy. Okay. Okay, so I will start until I see the little chat feature blinking. So what I was going to start with was overcoming objections. So, you know, we're sharing a product, we're sharing an opportunity. This is new for people, so people are going to have questions. So questions are great, right? Think about how you were at the beginning of, or whoever reached out to you, or however you found out about HempWorks. Most likely you had questions. So questions are good. Do not freeze up. Do not get in your head. It's great. This is a conversation starter. This takes a lot of educating. Okay, so questions are good. But, so here's the thing. We are not in the convincing business. We are not going to be going after people and chasing them and hunting them down and sending them 10, 15 messages saying, did you look at this video? Did you read this that I sent you? That is not what we're doing. So so if someone reaches out to you, or if you reach out to someone, present the information, give them a chance to ask questions, end with a question, say, have you tried CBD before? Or I always end with a question. When someone messages me something, I always end with some kind of question so that they can then answer me back and we can keep a conversation going. So no convincing, but questions are good. Questions are good. This takes some learning. Like, a lot of people still have a lot of misconceptions about CBD. So what are some common objections? If you want to type it in the chat box, that would be amazing. If you have come up with some objections that have kind of rattled you, type them in the chat box. Or if you're watching the replay, type them in the comments, but we can absolutely address them. So one objection you may be hearing is, I don't have the money. I don't have the money. So you can say something like, I get it. This is an investment of between $100 and $600. For that amount of money, you can start your own business. You can start making money back immediately. We have a team that we support each other. We give you the tools. And I can read you what someone else wrote. She says, some of our top leaders had to borrow the money and even had garage sales to be able to join. Where there's a will, there is a way. So you could go that far and say, like, if someone really needed to find $100 to start a business, if it was that important to them, they would do it. So that is one answer. The other objection that has to do with money is, someone could say, this is too expensive. So with a too expensive objection, I always say, check yourself first. Like, what is your money mindset? What is your view of how the products are priced? In my opinion, they are amazingly priced. I think this is such a great value. I have gone to dispensaries. Hey guys, can you guys mute? Can you guys mute out?
It scared people so bad that they've.
Oh gosh, I can't mute someone out.
It's like a series. It only has one season.
So
I
guys,
gotta look it
you're
up.
on. Oh, perfect. Got to mute. Perfect. Okay. So check yourself if you think the products are expensive, because you are most likely projecting that energy out on other people. So do some research, price check some other CBDs, because for what HempWorks delivers, the potency, the amount of CBD, this is an amazing price point. So it might take some educating for yourself to get really comfortable with the price point, to then be able to easily and effortlessly share the products, share the price. I don't get price objections and I don't offer discounts. I don't say, I'll pay for your shipping. I don't do that. Some people do, and it's up to you. But I think the way that it's presented with HempWorks is brilliant and does not need any fine tuning. Anyone else have anything to say about money objections?
I can add to that. When I first joined, I definitely did some research on pricing to be like, okay, well, if people do come to me with price objections, what am I going to say to them? And I quickly realized that we are at an incredible price point. There's a lot of oils that are actually more expensive than ours and have less CBD or aren't even organic. So it's an incredible price point for CBD oil. You're not going to get much better. And if you do get better, it's probably because it's hemp oil or it doesn't have CBD in it. There's a lot of factors as to why it would be cheaper, which means that it's not going to do anything for you. So you might as well light your money on fire. It's the same exact thing. The other thing is, when I joined this company, I thought, gosh, I really don't have the money right now to join. And, I'm not currently working. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I can't ask my husband to do this, but I have a credit card. And I said, you know what? This is worth the investment. I'm putting it on the credit card, and I'm going to put up a post and say, hey, I've got, 12 bottles of CBD oil, first come, first serve. And I sold off my bottles and paid off my credit card. Done. Like, I'm in the company, paid off. I have my own bottle. Everybody has their bottles, and I already have customers trying. And the customers that were trying those bottles that I sold off to be able to pay off that burden on my credit card, if you want to call it that, or that debt, they're liking the oil, and they ended up being repeat customers. So then I made money after that, on that. I made money the second month, in addition to customers that I was already getting the first month, because I had people that said, oh, darn, I missed out on the 12 bottles. What can I do? And I said, great, here, you can take my link. And they ordered via the link, and the rest is history. So if there's a will, there's a way. I know it's been mentioned in the past, how much do you pay for your cable bill? How much do you pay for things that are bringing no value to your life? You could temporarily cancel your cable. Eventually, when you're making money with this, if cable's important to you, you could start it up again, but you could temporarily cancel your cable in order to pay for this. And it's worth the investment. So.
Brilliant. Anything else, Chris?
So the money thing is probably one of the most popular objections you're going to hear, and oftentimes it'll come down to, it's not really, that's just their go-to, that's going to be their go-to excuse, that they want to tell you, because it's pretty easy to break down that barrier. One of the most popular things you can say is, it's like, if they're like, I don't have the money, well, it's like, of course you don't. That's why we're having this conversation, because you're going to join, and then we're going to fix that problem for you. So then, but one of the stories that I heard, I can't remember who I was watching, but he said, one of the easiest things you can ask somebody to break this down is you ask them, who is the most important person in their life, or who is the person that they love the most? And they'll say, my mom or my dad, or, my husband, my wife, whatever. And the scenario goes, well, if that person got put in jail tonight or whatever, a crime they didn't commit, are you going to spend, $500 and bail them out, or are you going to tell them, I don't have that money? And I think it's something like a conversation that'll happen a lot of times is people won't tell me that they don't have the money, but I'll tell them, like, for your own benefit, you need to come in at the highest possible level to maximize things, because if you're serious about this, you want that 50% at executive levels. You want 4 levels of payout right away. So I think of something like an executive pack that's $600, or you can do the 2 director packs for $400, comparable to like someone's bail money, you know, and their answer, of course, is always going to be, I would bail that person out. Well, then how did you get that money? You know, you can do this if you really want to. There's always going to be an obstacle or a reason that you're going to tell yourself for why you can't do it. And money is probably one of the worst reasons why somebody shouldn't join this. And like I said, of course, that's why we have the conversation, because we're going to fix that for you. So you're going to spend that money to join at the executive level because you want to get yourself out of financial jail, right? That's the jail that you're in. That's why we're having this conversation, because you want something more, you want something better, essentially. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the executive pack, it puts you have skin in the game. Like, it is a business, and you, yeah, I totally agree with the executive pack is the way to go. But for between $100 and $600, you can start your own business center. I think it is an amazing value. Okay, moving on from money. I don't know enough people, and I live in a small town. So the beauty of social media is that you can boom, instantly connect with like billions of people, or millions and billions. But I mean, so HempWorks is, you know, a global company going to be spreading worldwide. I'm assuming that Canada is coming in the relative near future with its legalization and everything. So saying that you don't know enough people is not an excuse. It's actually not who you know, it's who you are going to meet. So yes, you have a warm market. A warm market means the people that you know, your family, your friends, people that already know you. But you have amazing people all around you, everywhere, at the park, at the grocery store. You are always connecting. And so saying that you don't know enough people, or you live in a small town with today's age of information and you know, social media, that is, I don't know, that's a bogus statement. Anyone else have anything to chime in?
Great point to add to that. Megan Shudark, if you follow her, she is a 100K affiliate, and she might already be higher up in the company. But when she joined, I mean, her story is incredible. She talks about how she lived in a trailer with holes leaking through the ceiling, had no internet, had a device but didn't have internet, and walked a mile to McDonald's every single day, used their Wi-Fi, and would just sit there and network with people online. I mean, it's an incredible story. I have to say myself, when I first started, I didn't have a whole lot of friends on my Facebook. Everything was on lockdown. Everything was private on my profile. I had maybe 99 friends, and over time I have continued to grow I've continued to network and continued to grow my friends list. Okay, I'm out for a second.
All right. Anyone else have anything to add to I don't know enough people? That was
yeah, I'll hop on this one. You know, I think the most important piece has been touched on this, and that's just the avenues and different resources that you have outside of social media. But just if I'm speaking on social media specifically, because I think people assume that it's a really hard thing to build, but this comes back to how much time you put in. Somebody asked me just yesterday, about a specific type of post. I don't need to go into what it was. And they said they were afraid to make the post. And they asked me, you know, what was the response when you started? And I said, it's funny because the exact post popped up in my memories from like 2 years ago, and not one single person liked the post. Not one single person responded. So just the idea that you don't have a social media following, or you don't have a lot of friends on there, whatever the case may be, that doesn't have to be permanent either. You know, everything can grow and build. So you adding value every day, you making posts, you building content, you networking with other people, joining groups, whatever it might be, that is certainly an avenue that you can have to expand upon. And with an online business, it's one that you're going to want to expand upon. But in no way is what you're starting with what you have to finish with. So I think about, you know, adding however many friends and followers in the less than 2 years just by making posts and putting myself out there. So that market is still going to be there for you, and something for you to build upon. Perfect.
Perfect. And I'm going to touch on what you just ended with, Chris, of being scared of putting yourself out there. So the next objection is, I can't do it. I'm scared of failure. I don't want to put myself out there. What are people going to think? So, I mean, number one is, who are these people? Like, who are these people? What are they doing? Are you trying to impress them? Do they pay your bills? Are they in your life like that important that you need to do, that you are so worried about what you're doing that it's going to affect them? And you can always, so this person says, and what if you can learn how to turn your investment of between $100 and $600 into six figures? So scared of failure is like setting yourself up for failure before you even have started. So we as a team, we have trainings for you guys. It is a personal development. Like, it is constantly learning new things and being more comfortable with yourself. But if you are willing to put in the time and the effort into learning the skills and learning the mindset and the daily habits of being a business owner, you should not be scared of failure, because it's absolutely possible. Anyone have anything to add for scared of failure?
So this one specifically would come back for me to probably just the industry in itself. And we've touched on this before in other videos, is just people have failed already with a different product or a different company or whatever that might be. So that fear of focusing on your past failures rather than looking for the possibility of what might be. So this one is kind of easy for me to break down with people, because I look at it like this. Like, if you do any kind of research, go on your phone, computer, or spend 5 minutes and look at what is happening with CBD, because the number one question people want to know, the top two questions people want to know in a business is, one, does the product work? They definitely should want, they should want to know that. You don't want to get behind something that doesn't work. So does it work? And can I do this? And can I do this ties into failure. But if you look at the first question is, does it work? I can't think of a company, a business, a product that probably works more than this. And this is the problem, I think, with a lot of them, is you've joined a company or a product and it doesn't work, or it doesn't work for enough people to be successful for a long enough time. Where CBD, to me, is something for absolutely every single person. So not only does it work, but it works for every single person in some way. I can't find, it's like I try to find something that it can't do, and that's the shorter list of what it can do. So any kind of search that you do, you're going to find that it does just about anything, and that it's blowing up. If you do any kind of research on just what's happening from the business side, it's blowing up. So the question of does it work is emphatically absolutely. And so can you do this? Well, if it works for everybody and it's something that everybody wants and the market is going to go up by 700%, like, of course you can. So it's just the stigma of probably for a lot of people getting through those past failures that they've had with other companies, other products.
Great. Perfect. Okay, next one. I don't have time. So many of you are, have a job during the day, families, everyone has responsibilities. We are all busy. This is something you can definitely do in the pockets of your day. You can reach out to people in like chunks of literally 2 minutes. This is not something you have to be doing full time. You can do it part time. You can do it on the side. So if you, this business is actually made for busy people. If you are busy, that means you know how to multitask, you know how to get things done. You are always connecting with people. If you're at your job, you're connecting with people. At your children's games, you're connecting with people. And the fact that you don't have time is the exact reason why you deserve to do this. Like, that's why, because right now you may not have the time freedom that you want. And so investing a little bit of time every day, skipping that hour of TV, skipping that scrolling of Facebook, skipping any other time sucks that you have, skip it and invest in this business with time so that later on you have that time freedom. So yes, you can definitely do this part-time and start to build very quickly. Anyone else?
Yeah, so this one would jump back to me again with an easy answer. Of course you don't. Of course you don't. And that's why we're having the conversation, because you want to have more time to be, do the other things you want to do and be move towards that kind of financial freedom. But at the same time, the other part of that for me is, and this is one that I get from a lot of people, and it's easy for me to work with because I do have a job. And I can find 20 other people that I know that have jobs, whether they're part-time, full-time, that are doing this. So it's kind of the old adage that, you can you can give people facts all day, like facts tell, but in the end, stories sell. So if you have a story of how you're making this work with a job, or you know somebody that's making this work with a part-time job, like if you have these examples and stories that you can tell, like it's going to help to show people how successful they can be. Not to branch too far off topic, but just the idea of knowing people that they can relate to whatever story somebody's looking for. So you have somebody kind of in your pocket. Like if somebody came to me and said, my child has
There's another one that started at
issues
7.
going on or whatever, does CBD work, then I have say, well, no, I want you to, can you talk with Elaine because she has this similar story, and you have somebody that's always relatable to whatever the story is that somebody's looking for, because stories will always sell more than whatever facts we're trying to put out there.
Yeah, there's actually, it's called the feel, felt, found. So if you personally can relate to it, you can say something like, I think it's called feel, felt. I felt that way at the beginning too. I thought that I didn't have the time to do it. Is it feel, felt, found? I forget. I'll have to get back to you guys. But then it turns around and you can say like, but what I found was I was able to fit it in the pockets of my day and reach out to people and connect people into the groups, and the system kind of worked for me. And so you can relate to them. I feel you. I actually felt that too. And what I found was that this and this and this. So you can use that with a lot of objections if you personally felt that way. Okay. I am not good with sales. So perfect, because I'm not either. I'm not a salesperson. I don't know anything about business. I mean, I know now a little bit about business and marketing, but I went to college to be a teacher and in psychology. And so you do not have to be a salesperson. You want to be real. We teach you the skills, and we give you guys trainings. Let's see. What else about sales? This isn't even sales. So, I mean, we're always referring like what restaurant do you guys like? What products do you guys like? We're always like talking about things we like. And so this is just one branch off of that. Anything else?
Yeah. So that's what you just said was probably my number one. It's like everything in life is referral. Like, you know, if somebody comes and fixes something on my house and they do a good job, and then you have a similar problem, like I'm refer the person to you because they did good work. You like the product, so you're just referring that. My most popular answer to this is probably, you know, when they say I'm not a salesperson, I'm like, good, that's not what we're looking for. Like, we're looking for people that are, you know, like-minded, that have the same goal. That's, you know, we want to promote products that are going to actually help people and not, you know, create more toxic issues in their body like pharmaceutical drugs do, you know. So it's always, no, that's not what we want. So that's not what you need to be.
Right. Perfect. I don't want to bother people on Facebook. So, I mean, we don't want you to be spammy. We don't want, you know, cold messages. This is a relationship business, but people deserve to know about an opportunity. So you can be posting about it. They also deserve to know about great products and great CBD. So we plug you into the training so that we can teach you how to be sharing the right way. And so, I mean, people come to Facebook for entertainment, to get value. You know, people come to Facebook. So and you see it all the time. You see other people's products and business opportunities. So sprinkling it in now and then within your posts, within your feed is an okay thing. And hopefully we'll be teaching you how to, you know, be sharing and showing yourself the right way so that it doesn't feel bothersome to people and it doesn't feel spammy to people, because there is a way, and I'll talk more about it. It's called attraction marketing. I posted a video about it this morning, but if you do it the right way, you aren't going to be bothering people. People are going to be attracted to you. Anything else?
I think that, first of all, I love attraction marketing, but as far as bothering people, okay, 100%. Cold messages honestly don't bother me. It's like, okay, I can't, you know, get your product today or whatever, but it's not my favorite. It doesn't bother me. But like if a friend were to reach out to me and be like, hey, how's it going? What are you up to? And they're investing time. Like I have tons of friends that do network marketing and they do this. They'll be like, hey, what's going on? We get to chit chatting and I'm like, what are you up to? And they're like, I sell CBD oil. And I'm like, well, shoot, tell me about it. I mean, you know, I'm excited. And like, I wish that someone would have mentioned the opportunity sooner. Like it actually irks me a little bit that none of my friends reached out sooner and said, hey, I have CBD oil, because I've been looking for this unicorn for so long, and all of the credentials that it has, you know, organic, non-GMO, full spectrum is huge. So you're not a bother. You're not a bother at all. Just reach out to your friends, see how they're doing, get to chit-chatting. And when they ask you what you're up to, that's when you say, I'm in the cannabis industry. I sell CBD oil, you know? Simple things like that. And you got to, especially if you're passionate about it and if you have like-minded friends.
That was great, Lauren. Okay, guys, just a quick announcement. Please mute out. I'm trying to mute people as they come on. Please mute out. I'm hearing a lot of, there we go, background noise. Okay, I think we got everyone. Okay, next question. Oh, this is my favorite. Is this a pyramid scheme? Is this one of those pyramid things where the person at the top gets everything? Anyone else want it at it first, or I'm happy to go at it? Okay, so I would say pyramid schemes are illegal. Like a company would not be in business if, you know, a pyramid scheme is someone selling products and someone paying money for a product and not receiving the product. So we definitely get product, money exchanges and products are exchanged. Pyramid schemes are illegal. And if you think of like a corporate office, like think of Apple, think of a school, think of a hospital, there's one person at the top, and then there's the assistant directors, and then there's the managers, and then there's all the employees. So in this business, in network marketing, and especially this company, like for example, Sealy, who signed up with Megan, out-earned Megan. So Sealy out-earned Megan. So in network marketing and our company specifically, you can out-earn your enroller or your enrollee or whatever. So this is not a pyramid. You're not stuck. Everyone has the potential to earn as much as they work for. So in no way is this a pyramid scheme. Actually, like corporate America is more pyramid schemey than network marketing. Anyone else? Nope. Okay. Okay, those were all my objections, and I'm noticing no one commented in the chat with questions.
Elaine, I have an affiliate on here right now that has questions. So Jamie, if you want to hop on, you just are going to unmute yourself and ask your questions.
Yes, please.
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes. Hi, Jamie.
Hi. So yes, I did have a question. I am fairly new. I just signed up at the end of September. I do have a lot of people that are interested. They've reached out to me. I've talked to them about the products. I've showed them the website, you know, what CBD is and all the stuff that we offer, and they seem very interested, but then they kind of fall off. So my question is, how do I approach them? And not just like pushing the product, but approaching them in a way to get them really interested in it. I use the, how's everything going? I see you posted about your family. Is everything okay? I try to strike up a conversation with them first, but then I'm not really good at, bringing up, hey, are you still interested? Or, have you thought about this more? That's my weakness, I guess, is the follow-up. So I was just looking for some tips or pointers on how to have a strong follow-up.
Yeah, great question. Okay. So I'm definitely open to following up one time. And this is just me. Everyone has their own system. So my number one question actually is, when someone approaches you, do you say something like, are you open to me adding you to our product education page? Are they in our Activate Your Health group?
I have added a few because they have wanted to join the group. They said, yeah, sure, I'd love to learn more, because, I always suggest that. I say, let me add you to this group. You know, there's a bunch of information here. There's other people going through what you're going through. You can ask questions. You can learn more before you jump into trying out something you're not really sure about. So yeah, I do add them when they want to be added.
Perfect. Yeah, always ask permission. That's great, because that group acts as kind of an online storefront, so that, you know, people are getting dripped information and testimonials and, you know, information, so that, you know, they might in their newsfeed see something from that group, which might remind them, because people are busy. So it might not necessarily be the products or you. They might not be avoiding you. They might just be busy and not thinking about it. So maybe they need a reminder. So then if you do message them, you can absolutely, you know, say, how are you and how's your family? Or just be direct and say, you know, I've been thinking about you, and are you ready to try the oil yet? Or are you ready to get started with CBD? I'm excited to support you through your product journey. Just be there. I only do one follow-up, and from there, like, people know where to find me. People know where to find you. I don't chase. I'm not going to be sending more messages, because people know where to find you. So in that sense, you're going to just want to stay consistent on social media. That means, I don't know, 3 or 4 times a week, post about HempWorks or the opportunity or the product. People know what we're doing. It's not this like, oh, you're still doing that, because you should be consistent on social media. So follow up once, ask if they're open to you adding them to that Facebook group. You can even check in and say, you know, do you have any questions? Now that you've been in the product group a week, can I answer any questions for you? Can I send any info your way? What are you looking to use CBD for? Can I help you research some info on your health ailment that you're looking to, you know, for CBD to help with? And also being unattached to the outcome. So don't be attached to one person or to these group of people who knows, maybe it's not the right time for them. We just don't know. And so don't personalize it that this person hasn't joined yet. You've offered all this information. You've sent these videos. You've researched for them. If it's not for them, if it's not right now, who knows? Like, people are still reaching out. I'm 4 months in and people are just now reaching out. It's all about timing for people. So I'd say keep being consistent, keep doing what you're doing, asking a few more questions maybe in a message to follow up, but that's what I would say. Anyone else have a tip?
Yeah, I've got something, Elaine. So you want to have your very first contact with them on the oil itself to be very strong, and you've got to create the need in them for it right then. So a lot of things that Elaine said about asking about their health. So when I have someone reach out to me, I always add and tag them to the testimony page, and I tell them I'm going to do that. I'm going to add and tag you to the testimony page. I usually give my BizOff link, so that way they get in the direct marketing system. And so I give that out so they can get the free tour. And then I always ask them, what are they looking for? You know, what health ailment are you looking for? And I send them a little screenshot or meme of one of the oils that say it helps with all of these things. So arthritis or, you know, sleeping or all these things. So I ask them to identify with one of these things, and they usually come back and they're in a conversation and they say, oh my goodness, yes, I sleep bad, I have anxiety, and I have skin issues or whatever. Like, there's like 3 things that they see on there. So now in the very first conversation with them, I've created a need for them to see that this oil is going to help them, and then they keep thinking about it. So I don't know if you're doing that up front, but you know, putting that out there up front with them, that's really key, so they keep thinking about it. I don't do a whole lot of following up either. One of the main reasons is a lot of times I just don't have a lot of time, so people come back to me when they're ready. They see, you know, they keep posting. They see me in the testimony page. They see other people in the testimony page. But one other tip for that too is you can't just focus on the first 30 people that reach out to you and keep just using them. You know, they're the ones that you're going to build your business with. No, there's going to be maybe 5 to 10 people out of there that are going to say yes, realistically. And those other 20 people they're just going to fall off. Like, you can follow up with them once, twice, don't annoy them. But if I do follow up, I say something like, hey, have you thought any more about the oil? Or ask them about the benefit, you know, Have you thought about sleeping better with it? Just whatever feels comfortable. But the key to direct sales is to keep the pipeline full. So those first 30 people are on your list, and 5 people said yes. So now where's the next 30 people? So if you keep a fresh batch of new people coming in consistently, then you'll continually have people drop out at the bottom of the funnel. So you're filling up this pipeline, and people are saying yes consistently after that. So you're working with new people all the time. So you really don't have time to work with the ones who aren't interested anymore or whatever reason they fell off. So that's my tip, is just always keep new people coming in. And if you're talking about it and you're posting on social media that how many people are joining you, or testimonies of people, you just got to keep it out there. They'll eventually roll back. I had a lady that reached out today and said, I'm interested in hearing about the oil finally. And I first reached out to her like 3 months ago, because she was interested. So just stay with it. That's a third most important tip, is like be there when they're ready to come back to you. Because if they stop seeing you post, they'll find somebody else that's posting about CBD. So your initial interest that you gave to them about CBD now is someone else's customer because you left. So I would say just be consistent with staying with the business too. So those are my tips.
Those were awesome, Courtney. Yes. Okay, we have 4 minutes. Does anyone have one more question? Or Jamie, one more question?
I did have one more question, and thank you so much for all that input. I will start using visuals because I've been doing a lot of text, but I will start doing visuals on my follow-ups and just initial discussions. But my next question was, I've seen posts about talking to chiropractors and pharmacies, and how do you approach a company like that to be able to possibly market and put your products or hemp work products into their business?
Yeah, that's a great question. I do know from speaking to chiropractors that they're inundated with various, network marketing companies that people approach them, whether it's weight loss or health and wellness and now CBD. So this is a relationship-based company. I mean, I don't see myself as reaching out to just random chiropractors. I don't know. Does anyone else want to take this one? I do see myself going into like pet stores, because I don't think that is like overly saturated with people approaching them about a network marketing company, because our product is so, so great. I mean, yes, salons and massage therapists and chiropractors, they all deserve to know about HempWorks CBD. You can absolutely walk in with some pamphlets, and if you want to give them a bottle of oil, or say, ask if they're open to a 15-minute chat with you, you can absolutely do that. I just know that from what I've talked to chiropractors, that they get approached a lot. They're on a lot of them are on Facebook, or people come to their office and want to chat about it. So I don't know. And we do have a couple chiropractors on our team, so maybe this would be a question for them.
Can I say something?
Yeah, sure.
Well, what I've been finding in my town is I'm actually having a lot of fun going after a lot of the chiropractic practices in our town. Just going in there, and of course I am so passionate about HempWorks that it gives me the confidence to go in and say, how familiar are you with CBD products? And before I go any further, we're into a discussion about how interested they are. And I notice they are selling some sort of a CBD product, but then I'm able to share in comparison HempWorks, and they realize that HempWorks is better, and then they are willing to try it themselves. And that's how it starts. If they're willing to see the difference, the value in it, they try it themselves, and then they'll eventually get on board, is what I'm looking at now, is what I'm noticing.
That's awesome. So do you set an appointment with them? Like, how do you get there?
No,
we have less than a minute.
I actually I kind of time it around my kids' nap time. So I load the kids in the car, they fall asleep, I keep the car running, I just walk in, and I'm normally able to talk to someone, whether it's a manager or a chiropractor themselves. I was actually today able to talk to 3 different chiropractors and a massage therapist owner. Had a very good day with conversations with them, but I just walk in like, you know, like you own the place, and just know your basics about this company, about CBD, and if you're passionate, you share your story, you're going to relate with them. Especially, I mean, I'm a very holistic minded person, and if you're going after that, those kind of practices, you're going to relate.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be easier to talk with them.
That's awesome. Thank you for chiming in, Cameron. That's awesome. Anyone else about going to, and it takes